morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Rhythm and Roses, presented by North Star Real Estate Advisors. I'm Kelly Sutton, and I get to be the MC for the first ever virtual Rhythm and Roses. I'm so happy that I get to be back with you guys this year. I know it looks a little bit different, but we're super grateful that we get to be together so that we can all support the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Now, tonight, we are recognizing our shared vision of a cure for all children and all adults who are currently living with cystic fibrosis. We celebrate you, our CF fighters, our dedicated volunteers and donors, everyone who is in it until it is done. Now, before we get started, we want to share some tips that will help you maximize your viewing experience tonight. First, you will find the chat that's located at the bottom of the screen. We encourage you to utilize this chat so that you can talk to each other. That's where you can find out who's watching. Are you watching with your family tonight? We want to hear about it in the chat. Also, we want to hear about those fantastic party packages. Now, if you registered for this event, that means that you have a link to our auction. It's either been sent to you in email or in your text messages. That means you're registered and you're ready to go. If you haven't, you can still do that. Look in the chat, everybody. Now, this is a 2-device event. We want you to watch us on your big screen, on your TV at home, or maybe you're watching us on your laptop. But then we want you to have your phone handy because you're going to bid on all of your items on your mobile device. That's the easiest way to take it all in. So you can find what you love, place your maximum bid, and it will bid for you in increments all the way up to your maximum bid. That means you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to check on it. You just get to enjoy all the wonderful things that we have for you tonight in this program. And that's what we want you to do. So 2 devices. Now, if you have any trouble with that mobile bidding, drop us a little help in the chat and we will have somebody who is working with the auction and the Tennessee chapter. They will jump in and be happy to assist you. Now, the auction does close at 8, so keep that in mind. You might want to set a little reminder somewhere. We encourage you to participate in the chat. We encourage you to, of course, bid on all of our amazing items, and there are some great ones this year, and we encourage you to donate. Let's say that again. We would love for you to donate. Rhythm and Roses party packages. Let's talk about those for a minute, can we? Those charcuterie boards and desserts from our sweet friends at the cafe in Nashville. You have to go visit. Anzie Blue. Love them. So hopefully you're loving them too. Now tonight we have someone very special joining us, Jillian Jacqueline. She's new school but with old school storytelling. We love this lady. She had breakout EPs, Side A and Side B, and she has garnered more than 80 million total streams. I know! She's incredible, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear her. Without further ado, please welcome Jillian Jacqueline.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight for this very, very special event. My name is Jillian Jacqueline, and I could not be more honored to be a part of Rhythm and Roses. I got the opportunity to learn more about cystic fibrosis and the CF Foundation in the last few weeks, and I feel more than ever that tonight this event is so important for those that are dealing with this disease. And I feel like there's going to be so many amazing things that come from this night. So I'm very, very excited for all of us to be here together. And I am going to very quickly introduce you guys to this guy right here. This is Brian Brown. He is not only my guitar player, he's also my husband. And we are very lucky that we get to play music together all the time. And when we first met, I actually wrote a song about him because I didn't think I was ready to be in a relationship. I had just come out of a long other relationship and was feeling like I needed some time to heal. And sure enough, God had other plans. He showed up in my life. And I wrote a song basically telling him, now is not the time. If I were you, I would get very far away. And super romantic, right? But he did not take my advice, thankfully. And here we are, we're married. So this is called If I Were You, and this song is very special to me because it also features the one and only Keith Urban. So if you guys are fans of Keith, you can go check this song out wherever you listen to music and hear us singing together. And it goes like this. Here we go. 2, 3. You're like some kind of lightning. You say all of the right things. You got me coming alive after all of the hurt I've had. Hate how he still got me. Blame it on bad timing. You shouldn't come so close when you're looking at me like that. If I were you, I would be running, I would be leaving now. If I were you, I wouldn't look back, oh, but I want you to keep me in the back of your mind, baby. Call me up sometime in a couple of years if you haven't found somebody new. That's what I do. Yeah. If I were I didn't miss him, and I wish I could kiss you and have you be the only one that I'm thinking about. I'm not strong enough to resist for the both of us. If you stay, I'm gonna break your heart. I would make it stop before it starts. If I were you, I would be running, I would be leaving now. If I were you, I wouldn't look back, oh, but I want you to keep me in the back of your mind, baby. Call me up sometime in a couple of years if you haven't found somebody new. That's what I would do. Yeah. If I were you, who could do without you? Baby, I have no doubt you'll have found somebody else by the time I figure it out. That's what I would do. Yeah, if I were you. If I were you, I would be running, I would be leaving now. If I were you, I wouldn't look back, oh, but I want you to keep me in the back of your mind, baby. Call me up sometime in a couple of years if you haven't found somebody new. That's what I would do. Yeah, if I were you. If I were you. This is a song about learning to laugh through the hard times in life. It's called Tragic. I found a cheap therapist, started taking vitamins, and gave up on all my friends. I bought some self-help books, stopped giving myself dirty looks, and started breathing again. Got really into dirty martinis, stuck a rainbow keychain on my rear view to remind myself the pot of gold is always just up the road. Bottom line, I survived it. Spent all year being so dramatic. Yeah, it was sad and I was lonely, but I'm standing here alive in this moment. So why's it gotta be tragic, tragic? And this beautiful disclosure, after 5 years it was over. Moved out, found an apartment across town, wrote a whole album about it, called my sister to cry about it, and listen to Chris Martin sing Magic for the 99th time. I left my heart in 24 states and got a credit card, couldn't pay it all. Guess sometimes you just surprise yourself with what you do to move on. Bottom line, I survived it. Spent all year being so dramatic. Yeah, it was sad and I was lonely, but I'm standing here alive in this moment. So why's it gotta be tragic, tragic? Hey, oh, some days, hey, it's not okay, yeah. Hey, but someday, hey, I'm gonna be okay. Bottom line, I survived it. Spent all year being so dramatic, yeah. It was sad, I was lonely, but I'm standing here alive in this moment. So why's it gotta be tragic? Oh, yeah, why's it gotta be tragic? Hey, yeah.
Thank you so much, Jillian. What an amazing performance. Hey, don't worry. I know you guys are like, where's she going? She'll be back. In fact, we're going to have more from Jillian coming up in just a little bit. I hope you guys are getting your bids in. I'm going to grab my phone real quick. Just need to check on one of my bids that's going through right now. Bidding closes at 8. Do not forget that. So you need to get on it. Make sure that you are making those bids. And this is a 2-device event. So we've got the screen you're watching right now, and then you're bidding, right? If you're having any problems, just type help into the chat at the bottom, and somebody will be right along to help you out. I do want to transition now to why we are gathered tonight. It is the 65th anniversary of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. 65 years ago, a very determined group of parents decided that they were going to come together to help extend and improve the lives of their children who are living and fighting cystic fibrosis. The strength and tenacity of the CF community has enabled us to achieve so very much. Incredible progress has been made in the CF research and care. And most recently, in October of 2019, the FDA approved Trikafta. Now, this is a modulator that helps correct the impact of CF at the cellular level. That's pretty incredible. With the addition of Trikafta, we now have modulator treatments for 90% of people living with CF. That's amazing news, but it's not enough. We still have 10% of the people out there waiting for their modulator, and people living with CF, all of them, are waiting for a cure. I want to introduce you to an amazing individual right now, Bethany Kakowski. Now, Bethany was diagnosed with CF when she was just 4 months old. She's called Nashville home for the last 13 years. She is the oldest of 3 sisters, and her youngest sister, Mackenzie, has CF as well. Bethany is a fighter, and she's here tonight to share her CF journey with us.
Hi. My name is Bethany Kakowski, and I'm a 33-year-old adult living with cystic fibrosis. Let's back up to when I just said I was 33. You guys, that is probably the most incredible statement I can make. Let me tell you why. I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at 4 months old, and the doctors told my parents that my chances of living past elementary school age were slim. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic progressive disease that affects the entire body, but primarily the lungs and digestive system. In our bodies, there's a buildup over time of thick, sticky mucus in our organs, which leads to chronic infections, extensive scarring, and eventually a double lung transplant is needed to survive. Today, the average life expectancy is in the 40s. It's a true testament to the medical advances made because of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and people like you. Life with CF has been anything but easy. Being my parents' firstborn, they were both really scared, but quickly learned that keeping a positive outlook would help me to do the same. And it worked. I really didn't know that I was different than everybody else because my parents didn't make me feel like I was different. I did have to do treatments twice a day, take tons of pills, and go to the bathroom more than most, but I guess I just didn't notice it was different. I was heavily into sports from age 3, which I think was a huge factor as to why I stayed healthy in my youth. I was a competitive gymnast for years, played volleyball and in high school, and was also a cheerleader. When I was 19, I became an NBA dancer for the Cleveland Cavaliers, traveled to Iraq to entertain the troops, and got to live on my own for the first time in Cleveland, Ohio. I really thought I could do anything, and nothing was going to stop me. It was just going to take me a little more energy than most. Another reason why I think my lungs were doing well was because I love to sing. So not only was I tumbling around everywhere, but when I wasn't doing that, I was singing. A year later, after moving to Cleveland, I moved to Nashville to pursue being a country music artist. Being more than 500 miles away from home was a huge change. There's something about adulting that made me have to fully own my disease. It was difficult. I caught lung infections and had to do multiple IV antibiotics through a PICC line, which is a catheter from your arm to your heart. At this time, I also didn't have a job that provided health insurance. So my bills were really racking up and I needed to make a change, honestly, because my health and my finances depended on it. I went back to school to become a physical education teacher because I love exercise and I loved kids as well. Other than regularly taking care of my health and going to school, I was also in a relationship that spanned over 10 years. We got married at the courthouse in 2011 and planned on having a big wedding with our families in May of 2015. Just a month prior, in April of 2015, I found out my then husband, who was a touring country music artist, was having an affair. It was the most devastating and traumatic thing I had ever been through at that point. I felt that my disease was a direct correlation to why he didn't want to be in the marriage. My divorce was exhausting and took a toll on my health, not just mentally, but physically as well. So I started a healing journey, but my lungs had already taken a hit. A few years ago, I had a life-threatening pulmonary embolism, which is a blood clot in the lungs. Throughout this time, it was really scary knowing my lungs were declining, but it wasn't as scary as the fear I had for my sister's life. I have 2 sisters, Kimberly and Mackenzie. Kimberly is a carrier for the CF gene, but she does not have the disease. Kenzie, who is 12 years younger than me, also has cystic fibrosis. Even though we are far apart in age, we were and are extremely close. She's the funny in our family. Her spirit is contagious and her laugh, let me tell you, and she is the biggest joy in our family's life. Kenzie's health was very different than mine. Growing up, I had a lot of digestive issues. Even one time having a rectal prolapse, which I'll let you look that up if you dare. But Kenzie always had lung issues pretty much right away, and her hospital stays started early in her life. At 9 years old, she had kidney failure from an IV antibiotic that she was on and had to go on dialysis. Kenzie fought hard, but when she went off to college just a few years ago, her already low lung function dove even lower. In October 2019, at 20 years old, Kenzie was put on the lung transplant list with a 19% lung function. Luckily, 12 days later, we received the call for Kenzie's new lungs, and my sister and I raced up to Ohio to be there with her. I always say Kenzie's the glue that holds our family together because my parents got divorced in 2010 and it was really rocky for years. But taking care of Kenzie was something we all had in common. Kenzie made it through the surgery, but had some complications along the way. Even at one point, from the medication that she was on, she went blind for 2 days. When Kenzie was in the step-down unit recovering from the transplant, I got the call from my nurse at Vanderbilt that I was approved for Trikafta. Trikafta, for those of you that don't know, is a triple combination therapy taken to treat the underlying cause of CF. In trials, it was improving people's lung functions on average of 14%. And 90% of the CF population was going to be able to take this drug. I was ecstatic. It meant myself and the CF community is going to be able to grow old. We're going to have the chance. And that was due to all of your donations allowing funding for research. I took my first dose that day in the hospital next to Kenzie, remembering all of my CF friends who had passed away and did not get the chance to see that day. And for my sister, who didn't get Trikafta in time. But we cheered each other on like we always have. It's been almost a year since Kenzie's transplant, and she has recovered remarkably. She will be on anti-rejection medications for the rest of her life. But let me tell you, she's just happy to be here. Now she can breathe, dance, sing, and look forward to a future that she wasn't really sure she could have. However, that future, it's on pause, as it is for the rest of us with cystic fibrosis. We're in the high-risk category, and COVID-19 directly affects the lungs. Now, shortly after my pulmonary embolism a few years ago, I met Austin, who is now my fiance. We got engaged a month after Kenzie's transplant, and we were supposed to have our wedding on June 12th, 2020, but we had to postpone due to the pandemic. The pandemic has sent my life in a weird direction. Because I'm an elementary teacher, I didn't feel that it would be safe to be at work right now. The amount of hours I have spent on doing treatments twice, sometimes 3 times a day, going to doctor's appointments, through hospital stays, and just the overall behind the scenes work I have fought so hard through my entire life, my chances of contracting COVID and wiping all of that out isn't worth it. I have the best health I have had since my teenage years because of this miracle drug. But I'm stuck at home. The irony. I also had to take an unpaid leave because insurance won't cover anyone who is at high risk for COVID-19. These times are rough, but I, and I'm sure most of you, have been through rough before. When you come away from this event tonight, I want you to use my life and my sister's life as an opportunity to see the world in a different way, to take the problems that you face as a way to grow and be better, to be grateful for what you have right now in this moment, and to always, always protect others by wearing a mask. But seriously, wear your mask. But seriously, even though Trikafta is helping and it is amazing, it's not a cure. And, I may not be coughing my head off anymore, but I still have to do treatments, take tons of pills, and fight battles for the rest of my organs. And 10% of the population still doesn't have a drug like Trikafta. I'm grateful you are here tonight. We need you more than ever because we are so close to getting rid of this thing. Together, we can make CF stand for Cure Found. Thank you for hearing my story, and thank you for being here.
Hey everybody, I'm Robin Treadway. I'm going to be your host tonight for the 2020 Cystic Fibrosis Rhythm and Roses Bid for a Cure. I'm having a little social event tonight at my house since this is a virtual show. So, hold on. Hey, calm down a little bit. I've got a thing to do here. Get your devices out and get ready to bid. So we're going to do what we call a bid for a cure. If people here or on this event tonight are not familiar with Bid for a Cure, it's the fastest, quickest way that we can raise a lot of money for CF. Number one, it's 100% deductible, and it's the best gift from your heart you could ever give. So there's different levels of giving, so there'll be a level for everybody tonight. If if you're doing it for your child or your cousin or your mother or father is doing it for you, or you're doing it for somebody that's a friend, or even if you don't know what cystic fibrosis is or you haven't been involved with CF. 37 years ago, I was asked to do my first CF event, not knowing anything about it, and I'll tell you right now that the 37 years that I've been participating with CF has made me an absolute better person just because it feels good and I've met so many friends over the years. So if you're not involved with the foundation, you got to get involved, okay? So let's start Forbid for Your Cure, and here we go, all right? Earlier this year, we had a anonymous donor donate $650,000 in the form of a match. So any amounts of money that the foundation could raise at our chapter this year, up to $650,000, the donation will be matched. So we've got a big opportunity tonight to go ahead and fulfill this $650,000 donation as a match. For every dollar that you give, it'll be doubled up to the match. So don't forget, $10 is $20, $20 is $40, $10,000 is $20,000. So here we go with the levels of giving, okay? I'm going to run through them really quick and then we'll push them out there. First one is $10,000. $10,000, $7,500, $5,000, $25,000, $1,000, $500, $250, $100, $50, and $25. Now, as I said, you can manually put any amount you want to, higher or lower than that. So let's make sure you do that. So let's get ready to go, and here we go. Ready? Okay, is there anybody that would give $10,000? $10,000. Click in now. 10,000. 10,000. We've got 10,000. Come on, 10,000. Anybody else? 10,000. Okay, what about $7,500? $7,500. 7,500. Anybody? What about $5,000? Okay, $2,500. Hey, $2,000 right there. Richard and Catherine Palmetto. Thank you, Richard and Catherine Palmetto. $2,000. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? $2,000. Thank you. $2,000. Okay, what about $1,000? 1,000. 1,000. Thank you. We done? Anybody else for 1,000? Okay, now we're getting down to the levels that we need to see it go crazy, okay? $500. 500. 500. Okay, what about $250? Thank you, $250, $250. Who else? $250. All right, let's go down to $100. Everybody in the house. All right, now let's get down to a week of Starbucks coffee. All right, come on, come on, come on. We've made a whole lot of money here. Congratulations. We've had a great, successful night. We'll have the total for you here in just a second. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is a great organization. We're not done. We've got some great entertainment left. I didn't know this young lady before tonight, and I listened to her, and I'm going to go out and get an album right now. So let's welcome back Jillian Jacklin. Jillian, take it away. Jillian Jacklin, thank you.
Bethany's story is so inspirational, And as someone that has 3 sisters, I can only imagine how hard it has been for her and her sister to watch each other go through these struggles their whole lives. You can follow their journey on their Instagram at sister_sister, CYSTER. Your support is making a direct and positive impact on Bethany's life and the lives of CF patients everywhere. So we're going to play a brand new song now. This is going to be on my upcoming album, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. This is called Better with a Broken Heart. A sunset goes good with a blanket on the hood and someone to red wine kiss. A morning was made for pulling down the shades, and let's spend all day just like this. And saying goodbye is always best in the dark, and nothing goes together like it all falls apart. And neon burned out with a few whiskeys down and a sad song in a smoky bar. A long drive alone without anywhere to go, and the rain on the roof of this car. Some things just go better with a broken heart. Don't need to go out with my friends on the town or fall into a stranger's bed. That might work for most, but for me it don't come close. I'd rather be alone instead. No, my misery don't need company. Just neon burned out with a few whiskeys down and a sad song in a smoky bar. A long drive alone without anywhere to go, and the rain on the roof of this car. Some things just go better with a broken heart. It's a match made in heaven when it hurts like hell. Nothing goes together like all by myself. And neon burned out with a few whiskeys down and a sad song in a smoky bar. A long drive alone without anywhere to go, and the rain on the roof of this car. Some things just go better with a broken heart. Ooh, some things just go better with a broken heart. So, if anyone out there is a lover of old country classics, then this next song is for you. I grew up listening to a lot of country music and only country music. I didn't know there was any other genre that existed besides country until I was probably like 16 years old. So I was just fully in love with country music from a very young age, and my favorite artist and singer of all time is Patsy Cline. And she was the first CD I had. Actually, it might have been even a tape, I don't remember. But I listened to her on repeat, and this particular song is my favorite song of hers to sing. And it's also my grandmother's favorite song that I sing of hers. So this is Crazy. Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling so blue. me as long as you wanted, and then someday you'd leave me for somebody new. Worry, why do I let myself worry? Wondering what in the world did I do? Oh, crazy for thinking that my love could hold you. I'm crazy for trying and crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for loving you.
Thank you so much again, Jillian. And don't worry, we've got another set with Jillian. Before we let her wrap things up, though, I just have to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to everybody who made donations tonight. To those of you that had bids in on these auction items, some great items, by the way. Thank you. I know it looks different, but thank you for showing up. This is what Rhythm and Roses is all about. It's about family and corporate support and community all coming together to help find a cure. Speaking of generosity, tonight would not be complete or possible without our sponsors, and we would like to recognize a few of them. So first up, thank you so much to North Star, our premier supporter, North Star Real Estate Advisors. Thank you to them. Thank you to our platinum supporter, TPMB Law. We appreciate you. Our rose supporter this year was HCA. Thank you, everyone at HCA. Our silver supporters this year, Nugent Strategies and Solutions, Hillmont Creative, Interlace Health, and Chris and John Donnelly. Our bronze supporters, Goodwin Plumbing, Nestle Health Sciences, and Southeast Venture. Our friends of the foundation, Dr. Norma and Kim Scarborough, and Michael and Teresa Marchetti. We greatly appreciate the engagement of this incredible community. And of course, this event wouldn't come together if it wasn't for the magnificent event committee led by our co-chairs, Margaret Marchetti and Lee White. And now I'd like to recognize our VIP attendees joining us tonight. Last, we don't want to miss the opportunity to say thank you and recognize the caretakers and clinicians at Vanderbilt CF Care Centers who are watching tonight. They are on the front line ensuring our friends and family with CF are receiving the important care that they need. Thank you so very, very much for all of your hard work, care, and compassion that you show to our community. Many thanks to all of the silent auction item winners and our bid for a cure donors. You will be receiving a text or an email notification to check out on your phone. Your auction item gift certificates will be mailed to you, so be on the lookout for those. Behind the scenes, we are currently calculating what our grand total for the evening is, and we'll be sending you a text or an email with a notification in the next few minutes letting you know what that final number is. And we are so thankful that you are a part of that final number for all of us. Thank you so much again for joining us. I'm going to turn it back over to Jillian Jacqueline for her final performance of the night. God bless. We'll see you next year. Have a great night, everybody.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. Isn't that amazing? It is so exciting to see that happen in such an unbelievably uncertain time. And as this evening comes to a close, I just want to say thank you again to all of you for supporting Rhythm and Roses and for supporting the incredible mission of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. They couldn't do it without you, and it is honestly because of generous hearts like yours that people are getting the help that they need. So I think we're going to close with a couple more songs. And this next one is also a new song, and I started the set with a song that was sort of a love song for Brian, but not really, so I thought I would end this set with one that was a little bit more of an actual love song. So this is called The Ocean. I was in love once with a boy from California, and it didn't last, but I never could have known that. And it was the first time that I ever said I love you to some brown eyes on the East Coast, till the words ran out of truth. That's how it goes sometimes, just like water rolls and winds. Some loves are easy, coming and going. Some loves are endless, feel just like home. And some loves are dead and some flow into the great wide open. Some loves are rivers, some are the ocean. Some loves are rivers, some are the ocean. The stones that hit me at rock bottom, and all the shallow ones they couldn't carry my heart through. They might have hurt, yeah, but they all had one thing in common. Despite all of their problems, they led me to you. Some loves are easy, coming and going. Some loves are endless, feel just like home. Some loves are dead and some flow into the great wide open. Some loves are rivers, some are the ocean. Some loves are rivers, some are the ocean. Turns out you were here the whole time, just had to follow that tide. Some loves are easy, coming and going. Some loves are endless, feel just like home. And some loves are dead and some flow into the great wide open. Some loves are easy, coming and going. Some loves are endless, feel just like home. And some loves are dead and some flow into the great wide open. Some loves are rivers, some are the ocean. Some loves are rivers, some are the ocean. Some are the ocean. Some loves are rivers, you are the ocean. Good job. We got one more song for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Jillian Jacklin. This has been such an honor. And we're going to close with a song that I actually wrote and released in quarantine over the last several months. I wrote it in May and put it out. And I actually wrote it with Brian and my brother-in-law, Topher Brown. And it's my little reminder to remember that the world is really just one big neighborhood that runs on love. And it's really up to us to lean into other people, whether they're friends or strangers, lean into them instead of looking away, and realizing that we're all going through the same struggles, and it makes it so much easier if we can help each other carry some of the weight. So this is called Wait for the Light. And round of applause for Brian tonight. Well done, well done. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but we have our little roses here for Rhythm and Roses. That's our ode to tonight's event. It's okay. Tuning is very important. And also, as he finishes tuning this, if you guys love this song, you want to check it out wherever you listen to music. We did this YouTube video as well for this song, where I had fans send in their own videos of what Wait for the Light means to them, and it's one of my favorite things that I've ever gotten to be a part of. So if you feel so inclined, you should go check it out. It's pretty moving. There's babies being born and people falling in love. Trees are growing old and birds are still singing. There's raindrops on the roof and wine stains on the table. Some are waking up, some are laying down underneath the same sky. And honey, it's a small world, and you got a big heart, and every stranger is a friend if you lean in and keep a little faith in the dark. And it can be so hard to get through a long night. If you feel lost on your own street, come find me and we can wait for the light. Life is but a blink, a million stories unfolding. So tell me all your dreams, 'cause I've got time to listen. And if we're smart enough, we'll let the mystery grow. Leave it running wild and learn to smile through the triumph and the tears. And honey, it's a small world, and you got